Welcome back to the Ticklish Podcast. We're going to look back at the last few weeks of the PGA Tour. We're going to look at Vice Golf and their new VG-IO3 irons, and we're going to look ahead to the Arnold Palmer Invitational. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a lot to cover, and I'm going to try to fly through it as quickly as I can. Touch on each tournament just a little bit and kind of move on and wrap this up as quickly as I can, if that works. Waste Management Phoenix Open. Chris Gotterup won in a playoff against Hideki Matsuyama. This is Chris Gotterup's fourth victory, second in 3 starts this year, but his fourth victory overall in his career. Going up against, again in a playoff against Hideki Matsuyama, former Masters champion, and a very worthy contender. But Chris Gotterup hit a great shot, first tee shot in the playoff. Hideki Matsuyama pulled it left into the water on 18. In that playoff hole. Chris Gotterup hits it up to about 30 feet and makes the putt for birdie, walks off with the victory, and secures the win. It was a good tournament to watch, a good closing to the tournament, and Hideki Matsuyama, obviously a great competitor. Scottie Scheffler made a good run in that final round to get up into, I believe, a tie for second. But considering how poorly he started that tournament, he had a great second, third, and fourth round to get himself up into not only into contention but up into second place after the start that he had is pretty phenomenal. And Chris Gotterup is proving to be a very worthy contender this season on the PGA Tour. Keep an eye on Chris Gotterup. I know he just signed or is pulling interest in the TGL series, so he's going to get a little bit of extra airtime or playing time there. But keep an eye out for him pretty much anywhere the PGA Tour goes. He's got game. He's a very worthy contender, and he's got game. Collin Morikawa picks up a win at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. One-shot victory over Min-Woo Lee. But there were several big names at the top of that leaderboard for a long time late in that round on Sunday. Names like, again, Collin Morikawa won it against Min-Woo Lee. Over Scottie Scheffler, Tommy Fleetwood, Sam Burns, Akshay Bhatia, Sepp Straka. Just an absolute powerhouse leaderboard in an event like that. Just an absolutely fantastic victory to hold those guys out. On 18, Collin Morikawa hit a fantastic tee shot in the dead center of the fairway. He hit a fantastic, safe iron shot into the green on 18. Essentially, all he had to do was make birdie to win or make par to tie and go into a playoff against Min-Woo Lee. His second shot on 18 put him greenside with a fairly easy, straightforward chip, and he hit an absolutely perfect chip shot, left him 2 or 3 or 4 feet remaining for a birdie putt to secure the victory, and he drained that pretty effortlessly. Pretty straight putt, straightforward, and just a fantastic victory from Collin Morikawa. He had a good round 1, round 2, but he shot a 10 under 62 in the third round, which really pushed him up the leaderboard, really secured his spot in contention for a good round on Sunday. But let's keep in mind that that's 2 weeks in a row where Scottie Scheffler has been in contention. Obviously, he's the number 1 player in the world. Obviously, he's the best and he should be in those positions. But these opening rounds, he is not putting himself in a good position to do that. He has to work hard on Friday to just make the cut, and then work even harder on Saturday and Sunday to get himself up into contention, into a spot where he could win these tournaments. Again, he is the best player in the world, so that's something that could be expected of him, but that's not an easy thing for a player to do, especially back-to-back weeks like that. So while he is the number one player in the world, good on him. That's an impressive feat. Jacob Bridgman earned his first PGA Tour victory at the Genesis Invitational. He went into Sunday's final round with a 6-shot lead over Kurt Kitayama, and ended up winning by 1 stroke over, tied for second, Rory McIlroy and Kurt Kitayama. So he ended up giving back 5 strokes that day, not necessarily in bogeys, but to the field. And absolutely phenomenal play by Rory McIlroy to come back to get within 1. I think he started 7 or 8 strokes back on Sunday, and he ended up getting in within 1 stroke, or finishing 1 stroke behind Jacob Bridgman. But hey, that's all he had to do. He just had to win by 1. It doesn't matter. Win by 1 or win by 100. That's all that matters, is he won. Again, held out for the victory, secured his first PGA Tour victory. And fantastic play by Rory McIlroy, especially coming into next week. He's got to be feeling confident and in a great state of mind to head into the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Bridgman held off a phenomenal player in Kurt Kitayama and 2 Masters champions in Rory McIlroy and Adam Scott, and just, like I said, held it together and secured the victory. Now, let's talk about Vice Golf. So, Vice Golf was started in 2012 and really came out and disrupted the golf market. They are a direct-to-consumer equipment brand, but they sell a lot of golf balls in retail stores. I'm sure that if you play golf, I'm sure you've found Vice balls around the golf course. They cut out the retailer, the cost of going retail, by going direct to consumer. But direct to consumer golf balls doesn't really work unless somebody has an opportunity to hold it and feel it and kind of really you have to test it and hit the golf ball to really know if it's going to play right for you. And originally their golf balls, when they first came out, were okay. They were a lot of flashy marketing and a lot of cool packaging, and really kind of had an edge to them that you didn't really see in golf at that time. And they were doing a lot of marketing, and it was a big thing, but the golf balls at the time weren't great. They were good, they were fine, they worked, they were okay, but they weren't great golf balls. Fast forward to today, or the last couple of years, and Vice Golf released a set of irons, their VGI 01s and their VGI 02s. And these irons were great looking clubs to begin with. When they first started making irons, it's direct to consumer, so what do you do about like quality control and how do you fit for them, and how does it, like, you have to like really hit a golf club to know if it's even going to feel right at impact or in your hand. There's a really big, feel is a really big thing with golf clubs. Direct to consumer brands have a very hard time selling feel. And so they kind of have to make up for it by reducing the cost of the iron. So you're choosing budget and kind of a decorative, good-looking iron over the ability to hit it and feel it and swing it and get fit for it. That being said, they had really cool-looking irons. They were nice. They looked great on the shelf. They looked good in the bag. But it's hard to figure out whether they're going to be good or not. They released hybrids and woods, and I think they have a putter out and wedges, and they all look great. But they came out with the VGI 03s, and this came across my feed a couple days ago, and they are stunning. I don't know who designed these or where the design comes from, but these are a player muscle back iron, a player blade style, but the way that they're forged. So first of all, they're forged, which is a fantastic thing. I think the other two irons were cast, which is still okay, but it's not as quality as forging irons are. These irons are forged. The way that they're shaped, I think, is going to play more like a cavity back, which is a little bit more forgiving than a muscle back, but not quite as forgiving as or helpful as like higher handicap irons or player forgiveness irons, things like that are a little bit more forgiving, have a little bit more pop, but aren't necessarily for the higher level player. They're for that mid-tier to a high handicap player. But these ones, these VGI 03s they look like a blade. They look like a bladed address. They look like a muscle back from the back. But I think the way that it's tapered, narrow or shallow at the middle of the club, tapers out thick to the edge of the club, is going to play more like a cavity back where you have that kind of perimeter weighting. They come standard with KBS shafts. They have vice grips on it, and the color options and the shaft options and the grip options that you can get from Vice Golf is something that is helping them stand out tremendously from any other A, direct-to-consumer brand, but B, any brand at all. Like, you can get some custom colors or fancy colors on drivers and woods and hybrids and things like that, but you're kind of limited to your color options when it comes to irons, as far as like paint fill and things like that, and that's usually like a custom add-on. But Vice Golf is making that the standard for the brand. Like, we are flashy colors and paint fill and decoration and just kind of a standout look, colored grips and all that. And while again it's hard to feel it and fit for it and go swing it because they don't really have much in retail stores, these things are stunning. These are gorgeous golf clubs, and with them being forged especially, they're going to feel better than the other two clubs that iron sets that Vice has made, and they're going to feel like top tier irons. Like, I almost want to buy these and put these in the bag now just on the look alone. These are good looking irons. Back to the golf balls, their golf balls have improved. Like, Vice Golf is really stepping their game up and is a huge disruptor in the golf space. They are becoming a big player in the golf space. I think they're still on the level of like Cobra Golf kind of, and PXG and things like that. They can't have like they don't have like tour staffing yet, but I think they're only a few years away from getting like tour staffers to play their clubs. They make woods and drivers as well, but that's hard. It's a hard thing to just buy off the internet without being able to test it first. And I think it's hurting them a little bit. Yes, it saves them in their budget, and yes, they can lower the cost of all these clubs by doing that, by going direct to consumer, not going into retailers. But I think that they're missing out on the opportunity of more sales by not being on a shelf. So there's kind of a trade-off there that I think they're playing with. And their prices aren't low enough to like shock you away from buying something from one of the big four, big five brands. It's not shocking enough to steer you away from those clubs. But their golf balls have improved in quality and in production. They make really good looking like golf bags, and I think they have apparel as well. And they're just an absolute disruptor in the golf space. And I think they're going to be a contender in years to come, especially if they keep making clubs like these VGIO3s. This week we've got the Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill down in Orlando, Florida. But first I want to skip ahead to next week and come back to the Arnold Palmer Invitational. So I want to do something kind of different on that. Next week is the Puerto Rico Open, which doesn't have the top field. There's only 2 players inside of the top 50, the World Golf Rankings, in that field. But 2 names I want you to keep an eye on down at the Puerto Rico Open next week are Blades Brown, back in the field, and John Daly Jr., or Little John, as he's known in the golf spaces. Both of them are playing down at the Puerto Rico Open, and those are 2 names to keep an eye on. I'm not sure how much coverage will be on them just because there are bigger names in the field, but those are 2 guys who are coming up who are meant to be big players in the future. Again, the son of John Daly, Little John, he's a talented young man. And as we know, we talked about Blades Brown previously, shot a 60 a few weeks ago. I want to try to do a piece on Blades Brown moving forward, a kind of a feature on Blades Brown, but we'll see when that comes out or how that turns out. But now, like I said, I wanted to do something kind of special different with the Arnold Palmer Invitational. So I'm going to try to put together a piece on that. So we're going to end this part of the podcast here and roll that piece here. So until next time, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. This week on the PGA Tour, the Arnold Palmer Invitational presented by MasterCard. 2026 marks the 48th time Bay Hill has hosted the Arnold Palmer Invitational.
Another successful close for Tiger Woods.
The event carries a weight of history unlike almost any other stop on tour, with Arnold Palmer's presence still felt throughout the grounds at his beloved Bay Hill Club and Lodge.
Every now and then, huh?
The iconic red sweater awarded to the winner is one of the most recognizable trophies in the sport.
The legacy of Arnold Palmer, keep that spirit and energy alive as we get together every year here at Bay Hill.
As a signature event, 20% of the $20 million purse goes to the winner, a cool $4 million. The winner also collects 700 FedEx Cup points, making this a massive opportunity to rocket up the standings with a Masters looming. Every shot carries enormous consequences. After being sidelined for several months from back surgery, Justin Thomas is making his PGA Tour season debut at Bay Hill. He's keeping expectations measured, acknowledging it's been nearly 6 months since he last played in a competitive event, the 2025 Ryder Cup.
This is unbelievable from the United States. Maybe the impossible is starting to become.
Can JT shake off the rust at one of the toughest tests on tour? Sungjae Im is also making his season debut, having recovered from a wrist injury. His last start on tour was the Bay Current Classic in October, where he finished tied for 20th. Im has historically been a strong ball striker, a necessity for success at Bay Hill, so there's a genuine curiosity about where his game is after months away. Chris Gotterup, a 2-time winner in 5 starts this season, will make his Arnold Palmer Invitational debut. This 26-year-old can overpower courses and close when in contention, fitting a profile that has historically done well at Bay Hill.
He has game.
He's been the breakout star of 2026 and comes in with serious momentum.
And golf has a new up-and-comer.
Russell Henley is looking to become the first golfer in a decade to go back-to-back at Bay Hill. The last to successfully defend the title was Matt Every, who won in 2014 and 2015. Henley does it the old school way, striping fairways, hitting greens, and avoiding bogeys, a proven recipe at Bay Hill. He's coming off a rare missed cut at the Genesis, so all eyes are on whether he can rediscover his Bay Hill form. Holding a 2-shot lead with 5 holes to play in 2025, Morikawa watched victory slip away following a pivotal chip-in eagle by Henley. He's back, confident, and a serious contender to win. After winning the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am and following it with a tie for 7th at Riviera, Morikawa's precision iron play is back to its elite level, and he feels he has a score to settle this year. World number 1 Scottie Scheffler has never finished outside the top 25 in 5 starts at Bay Hill, and has won the event twice in 2022 and 2024. He'll be looking to become just the 2nd player after Tiger Woods to win this trophy 3 times. Fresh off breaking his remarkable 18 straight top 10 streak at the Genesis, expect Scheffler fully motivated at this event. Rory McIlroy's resume at Bay Hill speaks for itself. 6 top 10 finishes in his last 9 appearances, including a commanding 3-shot victory in 2018. With the Masters just weeks away, this is a crucial confidence builder. The main concern? Driving accuracy is the lone worry, ranking near the bottom of the field in that category. McIlroy must contend with dense rough that increasingly rewards precision over power. The tournament tees off Thursday, March 5th, with essentially the entire world top 20 in the field. It shapes up as one of the best non-major fields of the year. Right in the heart of the Florida swing, heading straight into the Players and the Masters.